We're 85% of the way to perfect deepfakes. Matt Walsh just declared that nobody's fighting this nightmare scenario, but I found 25 state laws, federal legislation, and a $6 million fine that say otherwise. Which reality is actually real?
Gubernatorial candidate Katie Porter continues to face criticism following her viral interview with CBS just this week. It's now inspired AI-generated videos.
Katie Porter has been the leading gubernatorial candidate, and this week she made headlines for different reasons.
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it.
Soon after that interview went viral, AI-generated videos started appearing by creators on X. One video shows CBS reporter Julie Watts and Porter in a physical fight with a disclaimer showing it is AI-generated. And another video shows Porter dumping a pot of mashed potatoes on Watts, following accusations that Porter had once done the same to her ex-husband.
He has strong opinions and he's not shy about sharing them, which is his whole brand. Katie Porter is a Democrat who used to represent a district in California in Congress. She's the most famous for her whiteboard. She would literally bring a whiteboard to congressional hearings and grill people with charts and numbers. It was like her shtick. She ran for Senate in 2024, but didn't win the primary. Now she's running for governor of California in 2026. And this is where it gets messy. In early October 2025, which is nowish, 3 separate videos of Katie Porter surfaced online within the same week, and they all made her look great. This is some old footage from 2021, and in one recent interview, Porter got frustrated with the reporter's questions and kept trying to end the conversation, and she eventually just gets up and storms out. And it went pretty viral because politicians usually try to keep it together on camera. There's another one from 2021 where she was on a video call with the energy secretary, and a staffer accidentally walked into the frame and Porter just snapped and screamed at her, "Get out of my effing shot," on camera during an official call. So all 3 of these videos hit the internet the same week, and people were talking about them everywhere because they show this pattern of Porter being really harsh with staff and reporters. Once that video of Porter storming out of the interview went viral, people started making a joke AI video as parodies like, "Oh, you think that's bad? You haven't seen the full video." You remember 2 years ago when AI videos looked obviously fake? I have bad news. We're about 85% of the way to perfect deepfakes. And when Matt Walsh comes out and says nobody's doing anything, the question I've got is he right? He's actually being completely wrong, except he might also be completely right. Let me explain why both things are true. I'm Evan Goldstein. I'm a licensed professional engineer and a data scientist, and I'm building the AI Capitalist channel to talk to the leaders and the thinkers like you about navigating this brave new world of thinking machines.
Also, by the way, I wanted to mention on this Katie Porter thing that as this video has been going around of Katie Porter, the video from yesterday where she's storms out of an interview. There are also these AI videos that are also making the rounds. And it's a joke. Like, people are posting it as a joke saying, "Oh, you haven't seen the full version of that video." And then the AI video is Katie Porter like lunging at the reporter and strangling her or something, or slapping her. And it's clearly AI, it's funny for what it is. It's funny because it's obviously AI, and the people that are posting it are not claiming otherwise. They're not actually trying to fool you into thinking that she assaulted the reporter. It's just a joke. But look, not to hop on this soapbox again. Being on a soapbox is the whole point of the show. But I look at those videos and I think that's funny, but it is not going to be funny soon. We're getting to a point where this is not going to be funny anymore, because you look at those videos, they're still pretty clearly fake. They look a lot more real now than they did 2 years ago. And we are rapidly getting to the point within the next 2 years, certainly, probably within the next year, where these AI videos are no longer distinguishable, where they are indistinguishable from reality. We are very quickly I'd say we're about 85% there. I think just like roughly looking at these AI videos, I think they're about 85% of the way there. There's about 15% of uncanny valley that you still see in these videos. Once you get to 95%, now you've got problems, and then eventually you're at 100%. And what does 100% mean? 100% means that we will be at a point where anyone who doesn't like you can go and put in a prompt and generate a video of you doing or saying something awful, the worst kinds of things you could possibly imagine, and they could just post it on the internet, and it will be it'll be totally indistinguishable from a real video, completely. And so there will be no way for you to prove that it's fake. And even if there is, the best you'll be able to do is if someone's really an expert, if you have some kind of program you can run that detects, but by that point, the damage will be done reputationally. And there will always be, once those kinds of videos are circulating and you've got a video of yourself out there like that, even if you say, oh, it was AI, there's always going to be in the back of people's mind, like we're very visual. We're visual creatures. And once that, here's what I'm saying, that of course you're going to come out and you're going to say it's AI. And there'll be some people who will believe you. But we're so visual that once we're able to create that visual of you doing, right? Like that someone makes a video of you drowning a cat in a river, whatever, or something even worse than that. When it looks totally real, now you've been in people's minds, once they've seen it, they've seen you do it. And even if they know you didn't really do it, they've still seen you do that. And so this association is locked in, even if you don't want it to be. And that's where we're heading. Like, this is gonna happen. And we all know it. And what is so crazy to me is that nothing is being done at all to stop this. We have just accepted that this is gonna happen. And nothing is being done.
Okay, hold on. I need to pause you right there because this is actually where I think that Matt Walsh is getting it wrong. And I don't mean that in a jerky way. I get what feels like nothing's happening because deepfakes are still spreading and the technology keeps getting better. But when I actually looked into this, there's a lot more going on than you'd think. Like just this past May, literally 5 months ago, President Trump signed an actual law called the Take It Down Act. It's now a federal crime to post non-consensual, intimate deepfakes, whether they're of adults or kids. We're talking about actual prison time, like 2 to 3 years. And the law didn't just barely pass. It was basically unanimous. The Senate voted for it unanimously, and the House passed it 409-2. When's the last time that Congress agreed on anything that strongly? And here's the thing, it's not just one law. 25 states have passed laws specifically about election deepfakes. 29 states have laws about deepfake adult content. California passed a whole package of bills last September. Tennessee passed something called the Elvis Act that protects people's voices as their own property. You can't just deepfake someone's voice for commercial use anymore. So when you say nothing is being done, I think what you really mean is the stuff being done isn't working fast enough, which is a fair criticism, but that's different from literally nothing at all happening.
And now you could say there's nothing we can do. Look, we haven't tried. We haven't tried to do anything. So we're just waltzing into this future where anyone who hates you can generate any video that will be totally indistinguishable. And it'll just be out there forever. Do we understand what a nightmare that is? We're not doing anything, though. There are no laws that are seriously being proposed. Like, no one is doing anything. No one is trying to do anything.
Okay, again, I have to stop you because no laws are seriously being proposed is just not accurate. There are a lot of bills moving through Congress right now with actual bipartisan support. And the Federal Trade Commission isn't sitting around either. They've been going after companies. In September, they launched a thing called Operation AI Comply, where they went after 5 companies using AI for scams. The FCC dropped a $6 million fine on some guy who made fake robocalls using Biden's voice to tell people not to vote. $6 million. That's not nothing. Plus, and this is crazy, over 3,700 organizations, including Adobe and Microsoft, Google, and TikTok, have joined this coalition called C2PA that's building technology to basically watermark and track where content comes from. TikTok is already using it to automatically label AI content. It's not perfect, but it's something real that's actually deployed right now.
We could at least try. We could at least try to put some barriers in place, something, anything. Because what's going to happen is 3 years from now, it's going to be chaos. 3 years ago, it's going to be the scenario I just described. And people are going to be looking around like, why didn't we try to stop this? We can't stop it now. Why did we do nothing at all to try to do anything to prevent this we all know that it's happening. We can see the train. We can see that we're on the train. We can see the tracks going over the cliff. Maybe we're too close to stop it, but we could at least try, and we're not trying.
Here's what I found out. We are trying. Like, we're actually trying with real money and real people working on this. DARPA, that's the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, who are the people who basically invented the internet, spent years and millions of dollars on a program called semantic forensics to build deepfake detectors. They just finished it last, and now they're releasing 19 different detection tools to the public for free. Universities like MIT and Berkeley and Stanford are running research programs where they're testing thousands of people to figure out how to help us spot deepfakes better. It's not just in America either. The European Union passed the AI Act last year with penalties up to 35 million euros, or 7% of a company's entire global revenue, whichever is greater, for violating rules about labeling AI content. The UK just made it illegal to even create sexual deepfakes without consent, with unlimited fines. We all know that the UK is not the place for free speech anyway, and is very sophisticated at monitoring its citizens' speech and movement. South Korea went absolutely wild and made it a crime to even watch or possess deepfake adult content, not just to make it. These are real laws with real enforcement happening right now. The thing is, I think the problem isn't that nobody's trying. The problem is that the technology is moving so fast that by the time we pass a law or build a detector, the deepfakes have already gotten better. It's like an arms race. But that doesn't mean we're doing nothing. It means that we're struggling to keep up, which is a different problem.
And that, it's terrifying. It should terrify everybody. I don't know. And of course, if you're just a normal private person, it won't happen to you first. Like first, it's going to hit the politicians. It's going to be a thing. Like political campaigns are going to be destroyed by these AI videos. That's going to be the first thing. And then it's going to make it to public figures. It's going to start with public figures who are partisan, who have enemies, me and people in my line of work. It's going to hit us real hard. And in that case, we're pretty much screwed because there's a whole group of people, 50% of the country is going to be incentivized to believe whatever the video is.
Now, this is totally accurate. It's true that it's going to hit politicians and public figures first. That's already happening. And there's something interesting. Lawmakers actually seem to know this, and they're responding because it affects them personally, them directly. 25 states have passed specific laws about using deepfakes in elections. Usually these laws say that you have to label political ads if they use AI, or that you can't just post deepfakes of candidates within 30 to 60 days of an election. Minnesota, California, Texas, and Pennsylvania, they all have these laws now. And when someone broke the rules, like that guy who made that fake Biden robocall during the New Hampshire primary, he got with both a massive FCC fine and 26 criminal charges. The problem he's describing about partisan people believing whatever they want to believe is real, and the laws probably can't fix that. But at least there's some mechanisms now where if someone makes a deep fake of a politician, the politician can actually sue or get the content taken down, which is more than we had 2 years ago. And YouTube, TikTok, and other platforms have policies where you can't just request to remove the deep fakes of yourself. YouTube updated their system just this year so that if someone makes a deep fake of you, you can report it and then they'll evaluate whether or not to take it down. It's not perfect. Enforcement's spotty like everything on YouTube, and some platforms are better than others, but infrastructure now exists, so we have something to work with.
And so that's going to be a bloodbath. But then pretty quickly, this is all going to happen very quickly. Pretty quickly, it makes it down to just like normal people who, if you have anyone who doesn't like you, and everyone does, it'll make it there. And I'm the most worried about that because at least if you're in my position and that starts happening, you have a megaphone where you can say, oh, this is fake. But what happens when you're just a normal person who works a normal job and someone creates a video like this and just puts it out there? What do? How do you address it? You don't have the megaphone. I'm very worried about it, and I wish that we were doing something about it, but we are not.
Now, this is totally right. And this is the part that worries me too. And I think that it's right to focus on regular people. But here's the thing. The Take It Down Act that I mentioned earlier applies to everyone, not just celebrities. If someone makes a sexual deepfake of you, whether you're famous or not, it's now a federal crime, and platforms have to take it down within 48 hours of being reported to them. Last August, 47 attorneys general of states, basically the top law enforcement officials in almost every state, sent letters to Google, Microsoft, and payment companies like Visa and MasterCard and told them to stop helping deepfake sites operate. They told search engines to stop showing results for undress apps, and they told credit card companies to stop processing payments for those sites. That's a pretty big coordinated effort to protect normal people. Is it enough? Probably not. And you're right that if you're just a regular person and someone makes a horrible video of you, the damage happens fast and defending yourself is hard. But I guess my point is that when you say we are not doing something about it, that's not really true. We're doing a lot. Federal laws, state laws, international laws, tech companies building detection tools, universities researching solutions, and actual enforcement with real fines and jail time. But the honest truth is we're probably doing a lot, but still not enough. And it might never be enough to stop this because there's an arms race and the tech side is always going to be ahead of those trying to catch up with them. But a lot, but not enough, is different from nothing at all. And I think being accurate about what's actually happening helps us figure out what we need to know more and what we need to do more of. I'm worried too. And he's right that this is scary. I just think that we need to be realistic about where we actually are because the fight isn't going to end. There's a lot of work being done and there's a lot more work that needs to be done.